Welcome! I'm going to tell you what to expect from Fisker EMotion unveiling just in a few days at CES, and of course many other electric cars and technologies. I'm going to be heading out there so I can cover it for you guys. But right now let's talk about what to look forward to, what to be excited about right here at E4 Electric, your #1 source for what's happening now in the world of electric cars, and we're going to start right now. Alright, I am heading to CES. Just in a few hours I'll be boarding my plane so I can go there and cover it for you guys. I will be there for the first 2 media days and then the first 2 most exciting days at the CES. I will stream live for some things, and some of the footage I'm just going to bring back and show it to you guys once I am back. But it's definitely going to be exciting. Let me tell you, CES is it's a consumer electronics show. It's originally was created for just electronics, televisions, and video cameras and so forth. But now that electric cars are really kind of smart devices, if you think about it, it's definitely technology. They've been kind of making their way into CES. Other like Lucid Air and other cars have been unveiled at CES. So this is really, really exciting. And this year it's no different. We're going to have even more cars unveiled, including Fisker EMotion. That's really one of the main reasons I'm going there, but I realize there are so many others, so let's talk about it. And by the way, if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. If you're interested in staying up to date in what's happening in the universe of electric cars, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification icon so you become a part of this community. All right, I see a lot of people coming in the chat room. Vit from Czech Republic and many other places in the world. James from Toronto, Guanaram from San Bernardino, and William from Missouri. All right, guys, well, let's go over everything. But of course, Fisker EMotion has been highly anticipated car to be unveiled. We kind of know what it's going to look like. This is one of the pictures that Henrik Fisker released on his Twitter feed. Just give us a little bit more preview so you can see. It's pretty cool. The doors are open up in all kinds of ways. So it's going to be interesting to see it in person. Now, they're not going to have an official unveiling event like Byton will. They will actually going to be presenting this car starting Tuesday. So they're not going to participate in the media days. And they're going to present it at the booth. They don't even have their own booth. They're going to be presenting it at the booth of the company that makes the LiDAR for them, leader or whatever, however want to pronounce it. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to hopefully get a test drive. I don't know. We'll see. It's always kind of fluid. But we know that this car is going to have about 400-mile range. That's what they're promising. The biggest thing is they're saying they will be able to charge it pretty much fully for under 10 minutes with a solid-state technology. Now, this is one of the first cars that are going to be out there claiming that they're going to have a solid-state technology. Now, earlier in in 2017, really a few months ago, they've filed for a patent for like an amazing solid state technology when you'll be able to charge like 500 miles worth in just like 1 minute. Something, people think is crazy. It's just not going to happen. But this car is going to have a pretty cool technology as well. That's what they're claiming. Now, let me remind you that Fisker, Henrik Fisker, founded Fisker Automotive and launched the Fisker Karma car that was a 4-door hybrid sedan, kind of a beat Tesla Model S to the market. But it only had about 40 miles of electric car charge worth, and then it had to use gas. It was a pretty cool looking car. I definitely like it. It was a 4-door sedan, but it started like $130,000 US dollars. They had some, problems with a lot of different things. A lot of unfortunate things happened, but basically they ended up kind of going belly up. Henrik Fisker quit way before they filed for bankruptcy. Now, Henrik Fisker formed another company called Fisker Inc., not to be confused with Fisker Automotive. That kind of really don't have anything to do with each other if you think about it. But they are finally coming up with their first car. This is right here, EMotion, and they're going to be premiering it, and I'm looking forward to it. Of course, the questions are about, can they really take it to production? Now, they're going to be taking seriously, more serious than, let's say, Faraday Future or Lucid Air, simply because he's done it before. So people can say, well, he can do it again, and that's why people are saying, okay, let's look forward to it. So this is definitely exciting. Let's see, someone in the chat room says that they really like the doors, which I think is pretty much what they're going for, is to people really kind of say, wow, that is pretty cool. Well, Tom is talking about Model 3, which we'll address in just a little bit later. But so yeah, let me know what you guys think about the car. Do you think it will really make it? Definitely in the chat room right here or in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are expecting from this car. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I will try to stream live for you guys to cover this car. Now, another car to be looking forward to, and I've already talked about it yesterday, and I'll talk about it just a little bit today, Byton. Now, they will have the unveiling event for sure. They will have the unveiling event. They'll have a booth. I'll be hopefully able to test drive that car, at least check it out from the inside. They are a brand new car company backed by Chinese investors, and they're saying that they're going to start production next year, at the end of next year. So and a lot of their executives are actually from other car companies, so it is looking much better than, let's say, again, Faraday Future or Lucid Air, though I still have hope for Lucid, hoping that they will actually be bought. So that's pretty cool. Genoram in the chat room says suicide scissor doors. Is that the way you'd call them? I don't even know what I would call them. That's kind of crazy. We're still talking about Fisker EMotion right here, right? I definitely don't see this being practical at the grocery store parking lot or even in a smaller garage. So I'm assuming that this is mainly for the show, but you will probably have to be kind of careful of where you park and how you open those doors. You know, I would probably opt it out to one or the other in terms of whether to build the front or the back doors like this, but they go all out. Now, my problem with this car is exactly the same as I had with Fisker Karma. It starts as $130,000. That's missing this whole entire market of electric cars that we've so far been talking about in terms of Tesla and definitely in terms of other car manufacturers. So $130,000 is out there, and I'm just saying that I think they're cutting down their potential clientele to literally a tiny little niche. But let's see how they do. Mr. Tech Freak 95 says Lucid Air could make it. I hope they can make it. It looks like they might be getting some financing, but I really hope that somebody will buy it. I mean, with all of these startups, really, I mean, the tech industry has always worked off of like, hey, let's make a startup, let's create a dream, let's create some technology. But the only way we make it to the market is when a bigger company will buy it. So that's what I'm hoping will happen with Lucid Air. I've checked it out in person and I really, really liked it. A good looking car. If all of the technology that they say is going to be there, then it's definitely going to be really, really impressive car. And I really, really going to root for them, just like I root for all electric car manufacturers, even including Faraday Future, as dysfunctional as they have been. They're probably getting some really nice investment in the near future. Russell in the chat room asked if doors locks spacey. Oh, doors lock spacey, but raise the price unnecessarily. Tesla also stopped using Falcon doors because of pricing. Tesla did not stop using Falcon doors. Falcon doors are still on Model X and will continue to be. It's one of the coolest features that I think a lot of people have ever really seen, especially on SUV. Dan, I see your comment. I will answer to this a little bit later, just not on topic right now. Alex Z is coming in from Russia. Welcome and Happy New Year. Happy belated New Year. All right, guys, let's talk about another car that, well, this is not really a car. So Mercedes-Benz is going to bring 3 of their concept cars, I think EQA, and a couple of other ones, including a really like cool looking supercar. I'm gonna check those out, but what they're really gonna be presenting is what they're calling Mercedes-Benz user experience. They're going to be giving us demos of what they see, how users are going to be interacting in their Mercedes-Benz electric cars of the future. But I'm also looking forward and looking at the concepts. Again, I'm gonna try to stream live for you guys. Now, the problem with streaming live there is one, that the Wi-Fi and internet is probably going to be jammed by everybody because there will be a lot of media there, and so I don't know if I can even get a good stream going, and if I will, I definitely will make sure. But I will be putting everything on tape and editing it for you guys to release in a few days after the CES is over. So you're gonna see this for sure, and I'm definitely looking forward to talking to them and to kind of finding out more about where Mercedes-Benz is right now with electric electric cars. So let's see. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Once again, I'm just really excited about it. By the way, some comments about the shirt. Frank is my second favorite F word. This is one of my designs, and you can actually check it out in the description of this video. And you know what else you can check out in the description of this video is a discount code for Evanex, our sponsor, the channel sponsor, and the sponsor of this video. They make aftermarket accessories for Tesla. So check them out and check out the discount code as well. All right, let's move on to Kia Niro EV. Now, Kia Niro is a thing already. They have a hybrid and a regular gas version, but they're going to be unveiling this little thing, Niro EV, at the show. There are not too many specs that they have let us have for now, but they're saying that it's going to be appropriate range, which I'm assuming is 200 plus miles. Not really clear right now when it's going to go in production, but I'm assuming very soon, in the next year or two. I mean, otherwise, I'm not really sure why they would be kind of talking about it, but it is they're presenting it as a concept. They're going to have a press conference. They're going to also have sort of an interview session for all of the reporters. I'm going to try to ask a question, but I'm definitely going to be there just at least to cover it for you guys as well. By the way, this coverage also depends on whether or not they're playing copyrighted music in the background. If there's I mean, I know it's kind of something you guys probably don't care about, but for us YouTubers, we cannot be broadcasting or putting together videos where the copyrighted videos, copyrighted music is anywhere in our videos. Otherwise, we get the video removed and strikes against our channels, and it's just it's just not going to be good. So Nigel in chat room says user experience of Mercedes owners is generally crap. Worst service and after service in Europe. I have to say that I owned Mercedes before, and the reason I owned them was because of a good service that I got here. But this is, you know, Bay Area, so there's different experience maybe here, but I really love their service. But I do agree with you. User experience of Mercedes and BMW is kind of crappy. They just really, I don't think they have a UX designers, and they just use very old technology also. So I'm looking forward to see what Mercedes-Benz has in store for us. Hopefully they're turning around with this whole electric car movement, electric car sort of revolution. Smooth Operator is asking, how do I contribute? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can contribute to the show by going to the Patreon page. Also, the link is down below. But you don't just contribute. I give some behind-the-scenes footage, exclusive reporting, and other cool stuff that I don't post here on YouTube channel is just exclusive for my Patreon users. Of course, there will be a lot of that stuff that are going to be going just for the Patreons from the CES. So definitely look forward to that. And I'm looking forward to presenting it to you guys. So thank you for asking. Tom says that Kia Niro EV looks like a Honda Fit under there. I mean, I kind of think that a lot of them look very, very like anyway. I don't know if, you know, Honda, I don't know if they're going to be presenting anything here at CES. Not all the car manufacturers are going to be there. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if they're in the directory. I think I saw them in the directory of exhibitors, but I don't know. I kind of forgot, sorry. Russell in the chat room says, Alex, how long do you think it will take till major car companies have a real competitor for Tesla in price range, looks, and over-the-air updates? Well, okay, I think they already have them. So Nissan Leaf, the new Nissan Leaf, and the Chevy Bolt obviously are competitors, because now Chevy Bolt has, you know, 240 miles range, so they're definitely competing with pretty much all Teslas, right? Now the look and the technology and the lack of supercharger maybe is an issue, but I'm just saying in that department they definitely compete. Now Nissan Leaf, now that's a decent looking car. They have a 150-mile range that you can buy right now. The orders are kind of flowing in the United States and Europe, but also next year they're going to up it to about what, 225 miles. So that's also a competitor, mainly to Model 3, but also to other Teslas. So as far as Model S, there will be a competitor this year, and maybe Model X, and we're talking about Jaguar I-Pace right here. They're going to be in production this year. Porsche Mission E will also compete. They just lowered their starting price to, you know, 70s. The production will start early next year, so they're going to be definitely a competitor. So I really think there will be a lot. I mean, there's definitely a lot of room to improve for the rest of the manufacturers. But oh, by the way, the biggest competitors actually is going to be Oh, I don't have an image for that. Sorry, guys. But Niro ES 8, which is just going to be produced in China for now, but they have some really amazing technology. The car is going to be really cheap. So in China, they will definitely kick Tesla's ass for sure if this is really happening. But also, if they're going to start selling it in other parts of the world, it will also be a big deal and a big splash. So, so I think they're kind of creeping in. Different manufacturers, Chevy Bolt, Nissan Leaf, leading the way, but there will be a few this year. I made a video about it about a week ago, and you can check it out. And also a couple of weeks ago, I had eWords, and I had the category, the biggest Tesla competitor in 2018, and I covered that as well. But there will be some. There will be some. Definitely Tesla will have some real competition this year and the next year for sure. Nigel is asking how many Chevy Bolts are being made per week. Okay, so I know they've been beating records, and to be honest with you, I don't want to lie, but I believe they're delivering like 3,000 a month now. So I guess we're talking about, you know, what, about 800 a week? I don't know. Well, I mean, they're still ramping up their production, believe it or not. But yeah, 800 a week. So I know that's already less than the Model 3. And obviously the demand for Chevy Bolt is not as big, though the problem is that in Europe, they go under the brand of Opel. And unfortunately, that brand Chevy sold out to another company. Now they don't, they act like they don't really care, and they're almost like killing their own brand in Europe. So Chevy Bolt is really just kind of being sold here in the United States, and that's kind of limited to that. Mr. Tech Freak 95 says the Jaguar I-Pace, which is this car right here, could be an alternative to the Model X. As a matter of fact, I think it will be. I'm also forgetting about, and I don't have a picture, but Audi e-tron Quattro is also coming up this year. A decent range, decent car, decent brand. So that's another one that I should probably add to my stack here of pictures of cars that are coming up. So yes, but Jaguar I-Pace, this is something I'll be considering for sure. Yes, and also Mr. Tech Freak 95 says, but no supercharging, that's a big plus point for Tesla. Yeah, okay, so supercharging will continue to be the major advantage for Tesla for at least 1 or 2 years to come. There's just nothing compared to it, and it's definitely a big problem for the rest of the manufacturers. A few of them have invested in a charging network called Ionic in Europe, and they're building out different fast charging network locations. They're promising 400 of them in Europe by the end of 2020. But, you know, this is just all happening very slowly. I expect this happening in the United States as well, where the major car manufacturers like Audi, like Jaguar, that need those networks kind of bond together, create a standard, and invest into a charging or supercharging network just to compete with Tesla as they should. Let's see. Russell says, as much as it helps consumers to have variety in electric vehicles, it concerns me a bit for Tesla. They started the movement, but are relatively small compared to the big guys. Well, you know, they're valued, at least with a stock market price, pretty much as much, if not bigger, at Ford. At least some time ago, they were like the largest valued car manufacturer in the country. So but yeah, you're right, they're still pretty small, which actually is also an advantage, right? Because they can concentrate on electric car vehicles only. They can make, you know, some mistakes, and it's not a big deal because they haven't made that many cars, where the manufacturers are, you know, have like 20, 30, 40 different car models, and there's some of them are gas, some of them are hybrid, some of them are electric. It's much maybe tougher for them to figure this out. So I don't think that that's big of a disadvantage for Tesla, but point taken. Tom says, I like the Jag look. So do I. I mean, it just looks like a Jaguar, which Jaguar has been just doing a great job with their designs, and I really like it. I used to own a Jaguar XF. I thought it was an amazing looking car, still is. They did a refresh. I'm not that big of a fan now, but the original XF was just absolutely gorgeous. Nigel in the chat room says, so Model 3 already has higher production than Chevy Bolt? Yes, they already have a higher production and definitely higher demand. You know, 500,000 people are waiting for them. So yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, Chevy Bolt's got its own problems. I wouldn't buy one. The only thing that I think they got going on is the range, but the price is too high. I think it's kind of ugly. At least a lot of people just don't like the look. Certainly Model 3 looks better for at least most people. And definitely the lack of any kind of a supercharging or fast charging network is a problem. So yeah, I'm not really surprised. Nigel says, love the Jag. PT could not afford it. Well, you know, I think they're pricing it also in par with the Model X. So pretty pricey. Yep. All right, let's move on to another thing that's going to be happening at CES, Genovation GXE. Now, this is not a brand new car. This is a company that's converting Corvettes, Chevy Corvettes, into like a supercar. I think it's got like some ridiculous 800 or 900 horsepower. It is just going to be fast and mean and really amazing. And especially if you already like Corvette, but you really don't want to switch to another equivalent, which kind of there doesn't really exist one really, an electric car. This is a great thing. The price is going to be like 750,000 American dollars, and I think they're going to be making only a few thousand, but they're going to be presenting it at CES. I'm going to definitely stop by and check out. I'm not a huge fan of roadsters. I'm not a fast car kind of guy. I actually like four-door sedans, which is Model S is perfect for me. So that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Just check out and see what they are doing. And of course, I gotta tell you, there will be a lot of car manufacturers there. They will bring their concepts. I will try to check them out. I'm expecting maybe 1 or 2 surprises as well. So we'll see what they're going to be. But just like I said, the main events are going to be Fisker, Byton, and maybe a little bit of Mercedes user experience. Those are the top 3 that I'm looking forward to, and I'm definitely going to try to cover it for you guys. So, and what else? Now, there's other few interesting cars that are going to be there. One of them is going to be Nissan IMX. Now, this is a concept, but with Nissan, I don't think we're going to have to be waiting for too long for their concepts to making into the market, because Nissan Leaf has been around for a while. Now they've updated it. Now they got the technology. So it's just a matter of them taking that technology, maybe improving it a little bit and putting it into a new a car, which Nissan IMX is going to be. It looks like they're going to have a concept there, or maybe even an alpha prototype. We'll see which one it's going to be. And they're going to be, of course, bringing their 2nd generation Nissan Leaf, which I have seen quite a few times now. I have a few videos where I test drove it when I saw it for the first time as a beta prototype, the first one in California. So I'm very familiar. I'm a fan, but nevertheless, I'm going to come in and talk about, you know, the rumors and the leaks that they've been out there, and we'll see if they answer those questions about if it's true that the range is going to be increasing to 225 miles, which everybody is really excited about. So, but yeah, Nissan IMX is going to be there. I'm also going to definitely be checking it out, and it's just going to be an amazing 4 days. Another company, and okay, so this is the last one that I think I should mention, which is Rinspeed Snap. They've presented cars before, and so I don't think they're making any of them right now. So this is more of like, I don't know, experimental company, if you will. So I don't expect them to really take this to market either, but I love the concept, which is basically, as you can see, there's a base for the car that has a powertrain, the battery and everything, and I believe most of the technology, but the top of the car can be switched. So it's almost like the bracelet on your watch that can be switched. As a matter of fact, when you buy different watches, sometimes they will come from different bracelets. So that's kind of cool. I love the concept. I don't know how realistic it is in the next few years, because we're still kind of figuring out this whole how to make an electric car thing. At least most manufacturers are. But this is a great concept, and I think this is actually one of the most interesting concepts that might just come out of this electric car revolution, where you don't just buy a car, you buy a powertrain and drivetrain and battery, which usually lasts much longer than the car itself, right? That's why their warranties are longer. And then you can put a different top on that. So for example, if you want to go for a ride with your girlfriend or wife on a, you know, nice coastal vacation, you make a, you know, 2-door convertible out of it. You put that top on there, right? If you just want to go to work or to a business meeting, you put a 4-door sedan on top of that, right? But if it's a family trip and you have your in-laws or whatever, you can put a minivan top on that with more seats on the same base. And I think this is a really, really great idea. I'm looking forward to seeing it. The only problem is that their booth, their demo area is far away from everybody else. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to have time to actually go all the way across town, because guys, CES is absolutely humongous. It's not like just in a convention center or in one of the hotels. It spreads out through entire Las Vegas. So, you know, going from one booth to another may just take like half an hour, and I'm not really sure if I'll be able to make it. But this is something to look forward to. Definitely at CES. You guys, I'm just so excited to go. I am flying out just in a couple of hours. If you didn't hear me mention it earlier, I'm flying in a couple of hours to Las Vegas to just kind of situate myself there. Sunday, tomorrow, and Monday will be media day, so no public will be allowed to go in, but there will be press conferences, unveilings. You know, Byton unveiling is going to happen during the media days, and after that, for the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, I will be there to just checking out the booths, talking to people, checking out the cars, maybe having some test drives. So this is going to be exciting. I won't be there for the last couple of days, but from what I understand, they're a little bit more boring and kind of a, you know, settling things down. I do have a day job, so I kind of got to get back to that as well at some point. So Greg in the chat room is asking, will Tesla solar roof and wall power be at CES? I believe Tesla is not even an exhibitor at CES. I mean, so that's they're not going to be there. Let's see, Mr. Tech Freak 95 says Rinspeed makes or made tuning for Porsche, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not a really company to take seriously. I'm just saying I'm not really sure what they're presenting at CES every year is actually going to ever make it on the market as far as their even intentions are concerned. But I certainly hope that if not them, that someone else picks up this awesome concept and runs with it. Let's see. Nigel asks, any of these cars Russian into production before? I see what you did there with the, okay, I get it. I use that joke too once in a while, you know. So for those of you guys who don't know, I am Russian, so it is a topic of a conversation once in a while, which brings me to, let's see, somebody was mentioning that. Okay, Dan K in the chat room says, I have a female Russian friend who absolutely hates electric cars. I brought up all the best arguments. Could you make a video explaining all your reasons? Maybe a fellow Russian can convince her. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, yeah, you know, I'm assuming when you say Russian, she lives in Russia, or at least she is recently from Russia. Listen, Russia is an old school country, all right? And still right now, it's definitely most of their money. Let me go back to Fisker EMotion. Most of their money are made on oil. That's what the country lives off of. So, you know, they're going to be one of the last countries to kind of switch and buy into this concept, okay? So give them some time. We don't have to convince everybody at once. As a matter of fact, when you're trying to convince people of something, you don't try to convince everybody at the same time. You know, first are going to be early adopters and people who are into this new technology, people like myself and you guys are watching and people in the chat room right here. Then we're going to go to people who actually don't mind whatever, as long as it meets some their particular need, maybe a cheaper a version of whatever they have right now, and if it turns out to be electric, that's fine. A lot of people just impressed by the technology and they don't care it's an electric car. That's why they buy Teslas. And so, you know, there are different ways how to convince people. So if they're on the fence and they really just, that's fine. But if they really just don't want to hear about it, you know what? Let them boil in this. Let them see other people drive these cars. Let them see on the streets how these cars beat their gas cars. Let them see some TV shows about it. Let them have some friends buy and drive them, and they're going to have to ride them, and sooner or later, you know, that's fine. And yes, Alex Z in the chat room, who is in Russia right now, actually. Don't mean to give out your disclosed location, but he says, plus Russia is huge, making a supercharger network there will take a lot of effort. Well, I mean, you know, the effort and money is only worth if people are driving cars in that country, right? Because the superchargers are now is New Zealand, you know, so because people are buying their cars there. So yeah, it will take a while, but you know, Tesla's been kicking ass with that. But yeah, the thing is, I don't want to right now. I don't want to waste my energy, and I don't think neither should you guys, to convince people who just don't want to be convinced right now. They will be ready at some time, and we'll get to them. Right now, let's work on people who are a little bit more open-minded. And yeah, you know, it's not just, this is not just Russia. I mean, I just talked to somebody yesterday who was very much against electric cars, and I just told him, okay, listen, whatever, we'll talk in another year or two, and I just left it at that. We don't have to convince everybody. There are plenty of people to convince. Remember, the electric car sales right now is like 2% of the entire car sales around the world. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of people who are ready to be convinced. Yes, that's right. Alex C, as he says in the chat room, that I almost convinced him. I am actually almost expecting him to have his next car to be an electric car, at least here in the United States. But we'll see what happens. I'm working on it. But he's definitely an open-minded guy, right? Drives a BMW, loves his BMW like a lot of BMW owners. But he's open-minded. He, you know, if it makes sense to him, he will do it. And that's the kind of people we want to talk about, you know, to right now. And by the way, you know, we never want to fight with them. Okay, there's no reason to fighting and trying to prove this and this. Listen, figure out what their needs are and tell them how electric cars are better for them. If they are, electric cars are not better for everybody right now, right? If you live in an apartment complex, if you know, and you don't have a way to charge, well, that may be a problem. You're just not ready right now. So, you know, let's cater to their needs. Let's see what they're looking for, because I think electric cars can solve pretty much all of them right now. But the charging is something that's holding a lot of people back. Gray in the chat room says, sure, electric cars are more expensive, but that tipping scale is about to go the other way. EV will be cheaper than gas in a dealership by price. Well, so I think electric cars are cheaper even now. It's just people's minds don't want to kind of look at it in a different perspective, right? Because technically, I always tell them this: listen, you can afford a more expensive electric car simply because you know, you won't have to be paying as much for gas. So would you care whether you're giving your money to the bank when you're making your payments, or part of it goes to Chevron, right? Right now you're paying to the bank some, and then to Chevron or whatever gas station you use. You know, why not combine this? All give it to the bank. You don't care. You get a better car for it, and you know, you don't have to service your transmission or the engine or do oil changes or really put that much maintenance into it, and you get all these exciting features. So this is a math problem for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like or know math well, and that's where we kind of hit in that end. But yeah, especially with those incentives that are still out there and probably going to be out there for the next few years, definitely the scale will be tipping into the favor of electric cars, just like with any new technology, right? The iPhone, I believe, what was like $800 or $600 cash up front when it came out, and now you can technically get one of the previous versions for free when you sign up for like a 2-year plan, at least here in the United States. So yeah, tech will move forward with everything. So let's see, Nigel says, did you see Model 3 owners last video? Model 3 in minus 26-degree drop consumption to half. Yes, but you know, again, you know, that I'm having trouble believing that it's going to be to half. I mean, also, we don't know if he had, you know, heater on or was driving the car, you know, really pushing it. So I don't know about half. But yeah, listen, the electric cars will be less, you know, energy friendly, and batteries will struggle when it's cold. But everybody knows that. But nevertheless, Norway is the leader in electric car sales. More than half of the cars sold in there in December were electric cars or hybrids. So, you know, and that technology will move forward as well, you know, with solid state batteries. So it will be much easier, I believe, to, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong in here, to handle the cold. You know, Tesla just came out with a preconditioning for the battery, preheating for the battery. So this, you know, this whole thing is going to be turning around. But yes, if you're buying a Model 3 or any other car, electric car, and you live in the cold weather, it will definitely affect the range. Let's see. I'm just seeing so many comments, but I mean, this is basically the same conversation we're having over and over again about, you know, a price versus range versus value versus supercharging network and so forth. But let's stay on topic, and I just kind of wanted to summarize. Going to Vegas today, really in a couple of hours, going to cover everything for you guys. Definitely, I will be going live, not like this, not in a studio. We'll just basically going to be my cell phone with probably a sketchy reception because everyone's going to be on a cell phone network, and I will try to answer some questions because I will be able to see the chat on my screen. You won't be able to see the chat, but once I am back, I will definitely have a better quality footage in terms of resolution, and I will probably be releasing some videos as I edit them, because it will be it's going to be edit hell. It's going to be production hell for me to edit all of the footage I'm going to bring back from you guys. Gray says Alex is a huge fan of leasing EVs. Absolutely. It's not that I'm a huge fan of leasing cars. For most people, it makes sense because it's cheaper. I'm just a huge fan of saving money and not paying more money when I can pay less money for the same thing. That's what I'm a huge fan about. I always leased my gas cars before, so it just made sense. All right, guys, so I hope to see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna, because tomorrow there will be a bunch of different presentations, and I'm definitely gonna stream at least once from Vegas. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for sure I'll be streaming. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'll be streaming for sure, and then back on Thursday here I will have my regular recap show. I don't know if I'm gonna try to recap Vegas, or I'm gonna try to recap whatever the electric car news are gonna be coming out throughout the week, or we're just gonna do everything at once. I just know I won't have that much preparation time for that, so we'll just wing it. Okay. All right, guys, we are pretty much done here. Again, if you like this t-shirt, I made it all myself. I have 7 other t-shirts in my store. Description of this video has the link. Other than that, guys, I will see you live streaming from Vegas at CES. It's going to be exciting. And of course, remember to stay charged.